All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Consults That Convert, how to conduct an effective consultation. Tonight, you'll learn how to conduct those consultations that build trust, uncover your client's goals, and lead to more confident treatment recommendations. Our guest speaker tonight is the delightful Carrie Ray, the president and owner of Insight Innovation Partners, where she leads the development and distribution of innovative med spa technologies, clinical skincare, and practice growth solutions. She will be sharing her insights with you shortly. Tonight, our webinar is brought to you alongside our industry partner, Insight Innovation Partners. As I mentioned earlier, this company was founded by Carrie, and they work closely with aesthetic practices across the United States to deliver advanced tools. Their mission is to empower providers with smarter technology, honest pricing, and personalized support so that you guys can enhance consultations, improve your treatment results, and grow your businesses with confidence. Before I turn it over to Carrie, I wanted to share some things with you guys about us at Empire Medical Training. We have been a trusted resource for medical professionals for over 27 years, and our purpose is simple. That is to empower clinicians with the training and support needed to confidently expand into those new procedures. Our commitment to you goes beyond education. We're here to help you grow professionally and safely with a great pathway for your career. We do offer training nationwide, allowing you to minimize those disruptions to your practice. You can also earn CME from programs focused on safe, effective, and evidence-based practice. Our attendees receive continuous post-training support, including live faculty sessions, and you can choose between our in-person, virtual, or hybrid learning models. You also have access to membership packages that create an in-depth educational plan for your growth. Most importantly, though, you can practice those hands-on techniques with real patients for true procedural mastery. We do offer a collection of training academies designed for comprehensive professional development. These are structured to meet the needs of medical providers, combining that clinical education with modern learning methods. Whether you're entering a new specialty or strengthening those existing skills, our academies provide you a clear guided route to becoming a more confident and capable practitioner. And lastly, guys, as a quick reminder, please submit any questions you have into that Q&A box. If you do not see it along the row of icons, there is a circle with 3 little dots that says more. If you click that, the Q&A icon will be in there. Carrie will be answering questions after the presentation, so please be sure to put those questions in there. You can use the chat to engage with other attendees or with me directly. But with that, I would love to turn it over to Carrie.
Thank you, Fallon.
Of course.
Good evening, everybody. I am the owner and president of the company, and I'm excited to talk to you guys just educational wise tonight. And obviously, you can look and we have a lot of different equipment we can help you with as far as skin analysis, which would be a really good tool to really complement your consultations. But for tonight, I thought if you could do just some screenshots and maybe the staff that sees your patient first can start with learning a little bit more about how much the consultation means. So when a client comes in to see you and they say, I've already called, I just wanted to get my Botox. She told me I'd probably need about 20 units. We'll look at it real quick. And then they're just coming in for that. You're leaving money on the table and they're already in your office. So we want to make sure that the people that are calling and setting up, this is going to be just a Botox appointment, are also touched on other levels just because that's going to build your vertical and your relationship with them deeper, So it's a lot more to a consultation to bring more money into your spa. And that's what we want to help you with. So the reason that the consultations matter is because they determine the outcome and whether the client's deciding that they're going to trust you before their treatment even begins. So the confidence that you have and you project, or that your staff that is going to be doing some of the consultations have, that's going to be what creates the commitment from the client. So we want to make sure that they are in there getting the most educated and thorough consultation that they've had an experience of in their area, because there are probably 20 med spas in some areas, and you want to be the one that's educational and the one that sets them up on treatment programs and the one that's just a little bit different. And being in this industry, I've had 3 different doctors that I work with specifically to do my Botox and fillers and things. And I can tell you the one that does the most time with me and talks to me about treatment protocol and the amount of time we're going to spend together and what we're going for overall, not just what's going to look better today or in 10 days when my neuromodulator kicks in. That doctor gets the majority of my business, because that really makes me feel like she's bought in. She's not just trying to get $50 for a hydroderm or whatever it is. It makes me feel like she's really bought in. She wants to take the pictures. She wants to show me the progress. It's just really reaffirming to me that I'm not just another number, you know. So the great consultations will improve the treatment acceptance just because of what I just said. And then also it will improve your retail sales. You know, never miss an opportunity to say the reason that you needed this and this and this is because you have these underlying issues. I don't want that to go untreated or anything happening different for the next 30 days before I see you again. I want to sell this to you to do over the next 30 days. And then we're going to do another analysis or another consultation. We're going to see what all has improved. And then this is going to be, like I said, with my doctor, it's going to be client retention because they made me feel something. They made me feel like I had a treatment plan. I was more than a number to them. They were going to be really just as bought in as I am about my results and looking at them in an analysis machine or even however consultations that you do. And we do have skin analysis machines that are, you know, $4,500. So it's not like you have to spend a ton of money to get something that's really going to show your clients that you are like next level and staying with the technology and everything that's coming out today. But it also that builds that customer, and then you're going to have a lifetime value there. And so studies in healthcare have found that patient trust and communication strongly influence the patient's treatment adherence, just like I was just saying, and satisfaction. And if there's something that they need worked on outside of the plan that you have, if they feel like they have a good relationship with you, they won't be scared or too timid to say, you know, I feel like maybe the Botox did X, Y, and Z here, and it made this look, you know, a little different. Can we go back and just touch this up before my next appointment? Where before, whenever I was using doctors that didn't really communicate well and make me feel like there was a trusting two-way relationship, sometimes I would just go for the next couple of months not liking my Botox because I didn't want to call them. So that's kind of something that you can keep in the back of your mind when you're talking to people is there are 19 other places that they could go, but they chose to come here. Now we have to keep them here and we have to make them feel seen and like they are the one and only client in that 15 or 30-minute appointment when you're doing your consultation, and that you really care as much about their outcome as they do. That's what'll keep them coming back and being a lifetime customer. You don't want to lose a customer to your neighbor because then they might be really good at consultations and that person's their lifetime customer now. So when clients don't buy, it's usually not about the price. And if you're not doing a subscription service, I highly recommend it. You know, have people send in, you know, $50 a month. And for being on a subscription with you, when they come in to get their treatment, they get 10 or 15% off of regular prices. And they can send that $50 off every month much easier than they can come up with $800 once a quarter. So if you're not doing that already, I highly recommend that. So what happens is that they turn down things because they don't fully understand their skin concerns. They aren't really convinced that the treatment's necessary from the discussion that you've had. They haven't seen sort of beneath their skin. If you're not doing 3D analysis, there's just so many things that they would be like, I don't really see it, but they need to have it treated. They might feel overwhelmed, or they might just lack confidence, honestly, in your recommendation because they don't understand. They didn't go to medical school. They don't have an esthetician background. They don't know. And so that lack is also one of the reasons you won't get that deal. And they just need a little bit more education. And as you go through, like I used to get, I think Juvederm, a filler, and now I get Sculptra. And, you know, the doctor that I go to told me, she was like, this is going to be something that is ongoing and collagen induction and things. And she explained those things to me for why I would want the difference and not having the buildup of the older school, like type fillers or whatever. And so that made me buy in. I was like, I'm switching. I trust you. I believe in what you say. And that's what we're doing now. So when somebody says to you, I'll just think about it, it's rarely just them going home and thinking about the money. It's them thinking, I don't know if that was the best consultation. And what your consultation should have done is remove any uncertainty whatsoever. So purely educational driven, even if you don't have a skin analysis machine, you can do a really good consultation and make them feel like you are bought in. I don't have to sell you anything to change the way you're doing your consultations. I can help you and I can sell you something that'll make the consultations way more thorough and very objective so that you can say, this is not just me trying to get $200 more for a hydrodermabrasion. This machine says your moisture level in your face is 12%. So We can either do an IV or we can do hydrofacial or, a number of things that you could do. And then also another retail sale for some good hyaluronic acid and say, use this, see me every 30 days. In 90 days, we're going to check this again. And I've seen the moisture reading go up to 80%. So people can get there. They just need somebody to tell them how and why, because anti-aging is definitely going to come from dehydration, or aging is definitely going to come from dehydration. So there's a lot of things that they need to know so that they feel better about spending their money. So that's a lot of the things that you want to look for, is just a little bit of an extra way to get another foot in the door. The 4 pillars of a high converting consultation. So every single good consultation should include you first building rapport, second, educating your client, third, personalizing a plan where they're coming back and going ahead and scheduling that. That's number 1. Don't just say, let me know in 3 or 4 weeks what you want to do next. Put that on their calendar. And then recommend exactly what you see with or without your skin analysis machine, and recommend it with confidence and with the science to back it. They're really going to give you their trust and be a lifetime customer if you buy in, because that's what they're trying to buy into, that relationship. So to build rapport, you just remember that people buy from people that they trust. So instead of immediately talking about treatments, which is what a lot of spas do this. I called and got an appointment for 20 units of Botox. Cool, she's ready for you. You go back, they do this, they put the stuff on your face and draw the little white dots all over. They give you the stuff and they say, all right, well, come back whenever you need to or whatever. And it's like, you just lost so much money, so much potential to have a bigger, deeper, more profitable relationship with that customer. So don't start talking about the treatments. Instead, just say something like, you know what brought you in today? And if they say Botox, oh, great. I know I saw that on your chart, but what is your biggest concern? And it's not going to be one thing. It's never going to be one thing. But let's just say, for instance, it's like, well, it really is just these 2 things. Great. That's where a skin analysis machine can help you get some more business, because if you show them that their skin is deeply congested with bacteria, sebum, and very dehydrated, things like that, you're going to be able to add a lot more of your services. And if you already have them in your spa, let's go ahead and get some more of these treatments on them and then book them for some more. And whenever they see it in a machine like that, and it's subjective, and it's not like you are just trying to make money, it's literally science backed, and it's 3D, and it's inside of their skin, under their skin, and everything else, they really do buy in a lot more, and they really trust that, and trust is what makes them pay for treatments. So then you're going to say, what have you tried before? And if they've said, like Xeomin, and now they're doing Botox, great. And then you would like, what were your comparisons? What are you thinking this time for you? What would success from today's visit look like? And you really have to practice active listening, because you know what success would look like for today, but you might not know everything that they're thinking. And there might be an extra cell in there. So actively listen to the list that they put out there in front of you, and you can add to it for certain, but you don't want to miss anything by not actively listening. The next thing is to show them. Like I said, if you don't have a machine, this is one of the machines I think that we have for about 7,000, but we do have one that's for 4,500. But if you're just taking a picture on an iPad, for instance, you still want to show them. So you can use your iPad to show them certain things, obviously wrinkles and texture and things like that. And you can maybe even zoom in a little and show them some congested pores, some of the things you could do from there. I would love it if we partnered with you and sold you a skin analysis machine, because then that would help you to show these people they can trust you. This is a really easy way to make the sale not a sale anymore. Now it's a conversation. It's a trust building conversation. It's like, hey, this machine said this, and this is not just me anymore. This is literally what's going on underneath your skin, on your skin, and everything else. So let's work on some treatments to reverse that, and come back in here in 30 days. I'm going to book you right now and watch your skin age go down. They love that. They love it. So today I'm 54. My skin age might say I'm 57. In 30 days, if I've done the product that I bought from your spa, and I did the stuff today that you told me to do, and we did collagen induction therapy and Botox and things like that, I'm going to come back to your spa and my age is going to went down. And that's what we want to see. We want to see even an algorithm thinks I look younger. Okay. It's one thing for your friends to tell you they're your friends, it's their job. But when a computer tells me I look younger, I'm listening. So that's helpful. But so before you treat, make sure you analyze. When clients can actually see what's happening beneath the surface, conversation shifts from selling to educating. Like I said, this really takes a lot of the sell out. So it's very important. And then you're going to want to personalize every recommendation. You don't want six girls in a neighborhood girls' night party talking about how, yeah, I always just go there for 30 units of Botox once a month or whatever. Then they're not going to trust. They're going to be like, they're just money grab. You want everybody's treatment to be specific to them. And there's no face that's exactly like the face before. Even if it's just a dehydration issue, a texture issue, there are so many different things that could be happening. They're never going to be two that are exactly the same. So don't miss that on the call. When they call in, I just want Botox. Give them a little bit more time on your calendar because you can get more treatments out of them. And they need them. It's not like you're tricking them and this is some kind of voodoo magic. You know for a fact if they're at the age that they need Botox, they are most certainly at the age where they could definitely benefit from a hydrofacial or a lot of other treatments that you already have. And you can sell them your retail products and they definitely work. It's not hype. We all know what the ingredients are. We have really good ingredients in our skincare. So I know that you guys are buying the same kind of thing. So you just want to avoid the everybody needs the same thing generic consultation. And you want to avoid skipping altogether and just going in and going, it says on here you're doing Botox, great. Boom, 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 and shots and then leave. Because you're leaving so much money on the table. I'm telling you, if you just started doing more in-depth conversations with trust and education, you can at least build, I'd say, a minimum of 20%. And you know, who wouldn't love to have 20% more on top of their profit every year? So do these things and say, like, based on your pigmentation, dehydration, and congestion, here is what I would recommend. So you're saying these are the things that we have noted, and you could see pigmentation, dehydration, and congestion without a skin analysis machine a lot of times, but there's also pigment underneath. And then you're also going to miss the congested pores. You're going to miss a lot of the things that people love to see and will instantly get you a real quick another treatment added super easily. But people do value that customized care. They want to feel like you are really bought into them as a person, not just another number or another name on your calendar that day. So then we want to make sure when we're building treatment plans that we sell the journey. Like I said, this is going to be a series. We're going to see you 3 times over the next 3 months, and you're not going to believe, if you have a skin analysis machine, you're not going to believe how it will show you getting younger. Or if you don't, you just say you're not going to believe these before and afters, and make sure you're doing whatever before and afters you're doing in the same light at the same angle every time. One of the doctors that I go to has tape on the floor, so they're always having you stand in the exact same space, and they have the exact same lighting. There's no windows, so it's not like a certain time of day. It's not like going to give you a filter. You need to have, especially like social media wise, to grow and get more people in there, you need to have the exact before and after. And that's one of the good things about a skin imaging machine. A black hood comes down behind them. There's no light let in whatsoever, not unless you're using my competitor Vizia. Theirs is wide open, just saying. But if you're using one of our machines, the hood comes down. It's perfectly black. Every image is identically lit, every single one of them. And those kind of things really speak to people when they can see the numbers are like going backwards and the 3D images of your pores and texture. Get out of here. It sells. It sells. So what you want to do is recommend a series of treatments. It's going to be called their maintenance schedule. Think about it whenever you buy a car, same thing. You buy a car, they're like, hey, listen, don't just go drive out of here and just hope it's going to stay new for the next year. We need to get you set up for some appointments to make sure we do all of these things at these certain times to keep you at optimum performance. And for this, it's just at optimum skin age. So you're going to do home care by selling them some retail. You're going to do follow-up imaging or before and afters if you're not using imaging, but I do highly recommend because you're leaving money on the table when you're not showing people their skin and underneath their skin in 3D. And then the client really will invest in the outcome at this point. And if you do have a subscription service like I recommended, and they're only paying, let's say they're doing $100 a month or whatever, that takes such a big relief off of the $800 or $1,200 appointment. They've already banked $300 or $400 with you. And because they banked that with you with your subscription service, kept your cash flow really looking good. Because they did that, you're going to give them a 10 or 15% discount. If you're not doing that, do it yesterday. The consultation formula is a problem to education to solution. So identify their concerns. Like I said, what brings you in here today? And then dig. Don't just leave it there. Dig. But listen, actively listen to what their concerns are because they booked Botox, but they have more concerns than that. and then explain why what is going on with their skin is happening. So here's a really good way to sell some of your retail product. Let me tell you why you have this discoloration. I don't think you've probably used sunscreen every single time you needed to, and we need to get you doing that. And then this won't keep happening. Or this is not hydrated. You are very, very dehydrated. Our machine tells us probably 10% of the population is fully hydrated, let's be honest, but you are really doing poorly and your skin is showing that. And this hyaluronic acid that I have behind the counter here is going to change that for you. It's a game changer if that's all you leave with today. Keep your sunscreen, whatever kind you have, but make sure you can sell them at least one product. You could probably sell them more. But then show them the visual evidence. If you have the machine, great. If you do a picture and zoom in and things like that, you can also do that. You're just going to miss out on some of the treatments that are underneath the surface that they really need and that you could sell a lot of products to. But then you're going to recommend the treatment that you have based on all of the things that you've talked about up to this point. So it's not just going to be a crapshoot. Hey, see some glabella stuff here. Looks like you're losing some volume here. Let's do fillers and Botox. You've heard them. They've said, I honestly feel like my skin is looking rough, like the texture's rough. We're adding microdermabrasion. We're going to do that before the Botox. You can do that. You can add that, another $150, just like that. Takes what, 10, 15 minutes? You got to add these things, and it's just a conversation. It's just, hey, I feel like I can trust you. And if it's a machine like mine, I objectively showed you you desperately need help with the texture of your skin. And whatever it looks like, the conversation needs to go back to, I believe what you have said. And I appreciate you buying into the formula to get me to where I need to be and booking me right now for my next 2 appointments while I'm standing in the office. Because a lot of people don't remember it and they don't want to pay a cancellation fee. So you're going to get them back in there a lot easier if you book while they're in there. Just a little bit of a tip that I'm giving you. And then you're going to explain their expected results, obviously, what all you've talked about and what the treatments are and the skincare you've sold them is going to do for them. And then do the scheduling. Do the scheduling while they're there every time. So the other part of this, trust obviously is part of this, but confidence closes. Your confidence, the way you present yourself, not just saying you came in for Botox, let me get these dots on your face, and how's your kids, and here's some shots, and okay, go out and see the lady in the front. She'll get you to pay there, and call us when you're ready for your next appointment. Everybody can do that. And my little boy could do that. You have got to show them what you are, what you've learned, and how you are way up here. They may be great at what they do, and you know nothing about it. I do art. A lot of people are like, a kid could do that. Good, let them. But they don't know what goes into creating art, okay? And these clients, they don't know what goes into what you are like sharing with them and how long it took you to learn it and how you're still continually learning with Empire and other places for continuing education. So you need to give your confidence to them. And whenever you are talking to them, don't say, well, what do you think? Because they are not the artist. They don't know how to create the art. We don't care what they think about our recommendation. We need them to understand they need that. We want them to trust us, yes, so we do care, obviously, but we need them to understand that from a professional standpoint, you absolutely need to get these things, period, bar none. End of discussion. You're going to be coming in the next 3 months and we're going to show you a huge improvement. And we're all in this together to see your outcome and results. And I can't wait to show you. And just building that confidence up through you, it transfers over to them. So you do have to sort of step away from the how's your kids and how's soccer and things like that for a minute, just to remind them, yes, I'm a lovely human, right? But I am very educated and I continually am educated through programs like this and others. And so they're going to buy into that. They're going to be like, these people are on top of it. They're not just Googling what I should do when I come in here today. It's their life's work to know what they are selling and to tell me why I need it. And they're going to buy that confidence and they're going to buy that trust and they're going to use you. And that's going to be a lifelong customer. And from experience, I can tell you that is exactly why I use the people that I use. These are just some common consultation mistakes real quick. So these can make you lose a client before they ever walk out the door. And you don't want them going to one of the other med spas because they may be great at it and then they're not coming back to you and they're not referring their friends to you. So you don't want to talk too much, which I'm doing, but this is a webinar. This is what we do. But you don't want to use too much medical jargon. You don't want to be like, I'm smart and I know big words. You just want to exude the confidence because you do know big words, but they don't have to hear those. You want to avoid recommending everything because you don't want to overwhelm them. You want to skip certain things to save time, but never ever skip educating them on why, because that's where you build the trust. You do need to have some sort of a really good system that's like, I'm going to give you a cheat sheet, something that's really easy to replicate, like when McDonald's opened. Every single McDonald's had to do everything exactly the same way, and that's how they were able to build so many franchises and be so successful. You want every person that's on your staff to do the same type of consultation with the same guidelines. And if you stay on at the end, I'll show you that and you can screenshot that. And you want everybody doing the same thing. So not, hey, I have this new brochure to show you about Xeomin or whatever. And then the next person that's in there is like, oh, I have this new brochure to show you about, radius. Whatever it is right now that you guys are talking about, you want to show them that. That's not cookie cutter. Whatever the consultation calls for, use that. Visual aids are great. You don't want them to leave without a treatment plan and on the schedule. And then you know what? The follow-up calls that I get from my doctor are some of my favorites. A couple days after I get Botox, I'll get a call. How are we feeling? You feeling anything different? You making sure to drink all your water, using the skincare I sold for you? Listen, it's just a couple minute call, but it reminds me that they're bought in. It's so easy to ruin a reputation online with Google reviews or Yelp or whatever. Everybody out here wants to provide good customer service because they know how quickly bad customer service could just ruin their business. That little call, even if you have somebody in your office do it, say, for instance, Dr. Gonzalez wanted me to call today and check in and see how your treatments are going, if you're feeling like the new skincare line is helping you, and if they have any concerns, obviously I can refer you back to make a call with the doctor, or sometimes it could be just as simple as, oh, did you know that it really helps if you dampen your face before you use your hyaluronic acid because it travels through that way easier? It can be something simple like that the doctor doesn't have to get on the call for, but a little bit of personal touch whenever we're in this world right now where there's hardly any of it, goes a long way. So I highly recommend following up. And this is going to be real business impacts for everything that we just said. And I'm going to give you some scripts that you can use. Everybody kind of do the same thing, but personalize each consultation. So that way, every time they come in, they know what they're getting. They're not going to go in and they're going to see Michelle today and she's not going to do it. She's just going to give them the shots and they're going to leave because they don't want it to be like that. They want it to be the same way every time they come into your spa. So we're going to get higher conversion rates. We're going to get more recurring revenue. We're going to get higher retail sales, and we're going to get better treatment compliance. When they know they're going to see their skin age, I bet you they put on their moisturizer and their hyaluronic acid more. I bet they do. They want to see that. They want to see that number go backwards. We're going to get improved client retention. And what I said earlier, referrals. Referrals are giant in this industry. You don't want to have to run ads every month and spend $12,000 to get the same people. You want those people talking to other people that might not have seen a single ad you placed. And I run ads, trust me, it happens. But even these small improvements in consultation, the quality can create such a gigantic difference in your revenue growth. And over time, every new client becomes a little bit more valuable, especially because we are aging differently. I didn't used to have to get fillers. I did not used to have to do 7 things in the morning for my skin. But if you get somebody at 30 and you keep them through the rest of their life and they are a lifelong customer, they get more and more treatments every year. So it's giant on every single front. And I want to now give you just a little bit of a tip on some scripts, and you can screenshot these. And I just put them in this Word document. So this is discovery consultation. You can just take a screenshot. I won't read the whole thing, but this is kind of the same thing. This is a lot of just active listening, a lot of discovery. And then remember, build trust and exude confidence. Those are giant. And then I do love this last question on here. Does that plan that we talked about, does that align with the goals that you shared with me today? Because you know it does. And then the confident recommendation. So this is for whenever you're ready to close the consultation. You say, hey, based on today's consultation and your skin analysis, these are the things that I recommend. You talked about pigmentation, early collagen loss, and dehydration. Instead of treating each thing separately, I'd like to address all of these things together. And then these are the things I recommend. And remember, confidently recommend. You are the expert. They came to your office. If you wanted them to commission, if you wanted to commission a piece of art and they were an artist, you would be in the driver's seat. You would be able to give all of the feedback. This is going to be the absolute most important thing you do for your practice that's going to cost you $0. Now, if you buy a skin analysis machine, it will help. There are so many treatments that will help. People won't see without a skin analysis machine in 3D. They won't see it. But if you're just doing your regular consultation and you keep doing these type of consultations, it's going to go better. You're going to have long-term clients. And then just a real quick one here, I color coded them. So there are 3 different little cheat sheets. This is just for everybody watching. Just look at these scripts and then this last 60-second consultation cheat sheet. So even if the people that are coming into the room to do the consultation don't know the whole script, if they can just remember these 6 steps, to ask the questions and to listen, actively listen, to show them the images and explain what they mean, and recommend a treatment plan and get them all scheduled today. Every single thing needs to be scheduled before they leave. I don't know if there's anybody that has any questions yet or not, but I'm at the point in the webinar where I can take any questions if you have them.
We did have someone ask if this was going to be recorded. I did tell her it was going to be recorded and she could reach out to you to get a copy of that after I send it to you tomorrow morning.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes. Can I I'm going to put your email address in the chat too as well.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
even
Wonderful.
though it's on the screen.
Yeah. Wonderful. I appreciate that. And I'll pop up this picture here. This is the new Insight Reveal. This is a skin analysis that's driven with AI and also a lot of really good data from some of the main skincare companies. So this is only $4,500. This is the best thing that you can get as far as just starting if you're budget conscious. It still doesn't have everything some of our more robust machines have, but it does have a lot that you will not get from a picture on an iPad. So it can help you increase your revenue very easily, very quickly.
Perfect. Adrian in the chat says, this is completely on point. Well done.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
Yes. Guys, if you
watch these with their staff, because I know that there's people out there that are just doing the bare minimum. It's not their business. It's not their baby. I have experienced these things.
Absolutely. Guys, if there are any more questions, go ahead. You can honestly, at this point, you can put them either in the chat or in the Q&A box. Matilda wants to know, what is the machine called? I was late.
Oh, this is the Insight Reveal. So we didn't really talk a ton about it, but what I was saying is that it's going to get you more in-depth consultations where your iPad pictures are going to just be surface level. This is going to be able to talk about melasma and sun damage and congested pores and your hydration level and things like that. So all of the things I talked about tonight, you can definitely get probably at least 40% of the consultation done with a picture. But if you want to really make the consultation, get a lot more treatments in, you do something where they can see under their skin and things like this. It's a big way to promote to get more sales.
Perfect. She says thank you.
Oh,
all right, guys. Well, if there's any more questions, we'll give you another minute or so, and then we can let everyone get on with their Thursday evening.
That's right.
I know this summertime. I'm as much as I love the summer, I'm almost ready for the routine of fall to come back and be ready and just everything.
Know what to expect.
Yes, exactly.
I like it. Yep.
All right. Well, I don't see anything else popping up. Your Carrie's email is in the chat. So if you do have any other questions you think of, maybe you get off this and you're thinking about it more and you're like, oh, I should have asked that question. You can go ahead and shoot her an email.
Please.
Yes. And do you have anything else, Carrie, before we let everyone go for the evening?
Just real quick, I would love to say that we started this company because we see a lot of markup in this industry. And so we want to offer you real results. And this is honestly not just some tagline. We offer you real results and honest pricing. We're not out here trying to mark up our machines by 400%. They all do the same thing. We want you to succeed because without you, there's no us.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, perfect. I still don't see anything else. So I think we will wrap it on up. Thank you, Carrie, again for joining us. It's always a pleasure.
always. Good night.
Great. Good night, everyone.